Hello and welcome to our video. It's your host, Ulti19, or Ultimate Gamer 19,000, and I'm here today to present to you all the brand new Ranger and how to build it. Before this video starts, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So, the Ranger. I've already done my video about the Ranger and how I think that Hunter's Mark was a very poorly made decision, and I'm not going to go over that, because, at this point, I'm just beating a dead horse, and I feel like a lot of people, myself included a little bit with the Paladin, but have kind of been over focusing on very bad parts of classes and haven't really been allowing the full picture of the class to get painted. Now, I personally believed in my Paladin video, I did paint a full class, but whatever, I'm not gonna, if you, I'm not gonna really get into that. But I do genuinely think that a lot of people are kind of focusing on the Hunter's Mark deal. And I do genuinely believe that the Hunter's Mark issue is so heavily prevalent because it is like five features of the Ranger that does really just rely on Hunter's Mark. And I do genuinely not really like the fact that Hunter's Mark is really your only really I guess like damage on amp. Like if we look here, favorite enemies, Hunter's Mark, Weapon Masteries is a decent damage amp. But like Deft Explorer, Fighting Styles, yeah, that is a good one. But a lot of these are just really good because if we're being honest here, the Ranger has a lot of good features. Let's not lie here and act like they don't. Deft Explorer, really good. Roving, good. Expertise, tireless, good. Relentless Hunters, it's a good feature, but like, yeah. Nature's Veil, good. A lot of these features are very powerful, but it's just that none of them are combat related. And I think when it comes to channels like me, sometimes I do like to center myself towards more combat related videos or like discussion because my favorite part of D&D is combat. I love combat, but I also do love a good roleplay session, and I can realize that there are some DMs, because it's almost every single table is going to be focusing on combat. I can almost guarantee that. Not every single table is going to be focusing on exploration, for example. And I know in my tables, I don't really like play out the whole exploration thing. It's like, oh, like sometimes they may say, "Oh, make a survival check to avoid an encounter," but like it's never really like, "Oh, like I'm never really throwing my players in like a forest and just trying to see if they can get out." Like I'm more of a like, "Oh, while you're on the road, boom, something attacks you. Let's get into combat," or like something like that. That's more of how I DM. Again, that's not true. Like that's more of like a small picture I'm painting. It's not my overall general DM style. But I do think a lot of people, myself included, a lot of the people I play with, just like combat because combat is just fun. I mean, you can just dish out a bunch of damage, take hits. It builds those really memorable moments in a campaign. And the main problem with the Ranger is that its weakest pillar plays combat, which is just that's, I mean, again, this is like almost the same issue with the Ranger, with the Rogue at least. But honestly, if I'm being honest, the Rogue is so much better outside of combat than the Ranger is. So it's like the Ranger is worse in combat than most martials, but even like outside of combat, when it comes to the utility they can provide, which is still amazing, they can still provide amazing utility. The Rogue has them outdone because level 7 reliable talent with expertises and just in general, cunning strikes are just, even though cunning strikes are very good for controlling a battlefield or for movability or for honestly whatever, cunning strikes are just a very good class feature. It really feels like as a ranger player, you didn't really get much. And also archery being gutted in some people's opinions. I think archery is now in a good place because archery should have never been stronger than melee combat, in my opinion. But again, that's a discussion for another video. So yeah, I think with the archery's nerf as well, a lot of people see the ranger as the archery focused class. Because a lot of their features are focused on archery or like really blending with the flavor of archery very well. I mean, look at this picture, the guy's an archer. So I mean, but I think now since archery got nerfed and the main class didn't go in a direction that people approve of. I genuinely do think the Ranger now is just it's the jack of all trades, but not even the best jack of all trades we have. I think is the best way I can really explain it. I mean, with their spellcasting is still very powerful, it is still very strong. Hunter's Mark is still a spell that at low levels, Hunter's Mark is still going to be used extraordinarily often, but it's just there are so many like little problems people have that at a certain point it just becomes, I just why why bother? And also, I really don't feel like if you're damage focused or even utility focused, it's very hard to beat taking extra rogue levels as a ranger. Once you get extra attack, it's just really hard to justify not taking 7 levels of rogue for what is it called? Reliable talent, sneak attack, cunning strikes are now so good for battlefield control. The poison cunning strike feature I think is a very powerful feature that definitely will get underutilized. But I think poison cunning strike is just so nice. Or even like other things like the champion fighter, or like that's extremely powerful, or the battle master fighter. It's very hard for many ranger players to just not be like, or even if you're a melee based ranger, war cleric is amazing. I love war clerics. Check my cleric guide build video if you want to see my thoughts on war cleric. But I love war clerics. So I do genuinely think that when it comes to building a ranger, you're very much limited in your options of what you want to do if you stay single class. And I do think that multi-classing a ranger does kind of do what I want multi-classing to do. It really just hones in on a particular pillar of play. But but at the end of the day is you could just take that 7 levels of rogue, then multi-class straight into a fighter, and you still have really powerful cunning strikes. You still have reliable talent just being broken, and yeah, all of those features do gain better. But since they're just so good, it really hurts to play a ranger. And I do think that Hunter's Mark still requiring concentration is so dumb. And if I'm being honest, as a DM, I would probably make it where level 7 or 5 of Ranger no longer takes concentration, or maybe or something like that. Maybe no longer takes concentration, but it only lasts for like a minute. I think that's a very good option. This allows players to use Summon Beast, or maybe if you want to be like a little more annoying, I guess, make it where if you cast a spell like Summon Beast or Conjure Animals or Lightning Bolt or Swift Quiver, Hunter's Mark no longer requires concentration. I mean, again, that's more annoying. I think it's easier to say, oh, or maybe, honestly, what you could do is every time you were free casting Hunter's Mark with the favorite enemy feature, simply make it where it no longer requires concentration, but it only lasts for 1 minute. Again, and I feel like that is just very good. But I've done a lot of rambling, but I do think this is very important to factor in when you're building a ranger of what this is. So I've done a lot of rambling. Rambling's over. Now let's just get into the build guide. Now, for backgrounds, I recommend Guide and Criminal. Guide is for the more, Guide is for if you want to do like a shillelagh based ranger. Again, just being able to bonk people with a quarter staff. That's it for a more melee, maybe focused ranger. Criminal, I do think, is probably one of your better choices. Now, a lot of features do require your bonus. You're having a decent wisdom score, so criminal might not be the best. But again, it's like if your DM allows you to customize backgrounds or pick an old background and customize it, I feel like really your best choice for a ranger is +2 to dexterity, +1 to wisdom, take alert. I think that's your best choice, bear none, for rangers. And I really just hate the fact that's not an official rule in the player's handbook, but it's so easy to customize a background. It really doesn't take much brain power to fully customize a background. So if your DM allows you, I personally think it's plus to dex, +1 to wisdom, and then alert. Now for feats, honestly, I think the best feats for the ranger is gonna be Great Weapon Master, Defensive Duelist, and Poisoner. Again, I just really like Poisoner. I think it's a very powerful feat. It's like basically like the Rogue's Cunning Strike a feature. Yeah, it does take some gold, but if we're doing like a big boss battle, then like yeah, you can like if you're fighting like a dragon or something, being able to potentially poison them and completely change encounters provides so much value. So I do think Poisoner is just so powerful. Great Weapon Master isn't for like heavy wielding weapon rangers, which I know some people might find weird. It is actually for longbows. Longbows and heavy crossbows now can be used with Great Weapon Master. Granted, you don't gain a +1 to your dexterity, which does suck. So maybe if you do, you could go like a 16 dex build. But again, you have the archery fighting style, so it's like, oh, like you'll be fine. You have archery. Your plus hits are gonna be so incredibly high, so I wouldn't really worry about that. Defensive duelist again is very good for a It's like kind of like the shield spell, but for melee, but for non-spell casting marshals, and the ranger doesn't have shield. And honestly, I don't think it's really worth it to get shield when alert exists. But overall, I think Great Weapon Master, Defensive Duelist, and Poisoner are probably some of your best choices. I do think something like Charger could work if you're with your animal companion and it's telling them to like disengage every single turn to just ram into an enemy. But again, I think that's a little weird. And yeah, so now, so now with the species, honestly, it's like none of the species feel like if you're not picking this, you're dumb. Honestly, you could honestly pick any. Again, a flying species is so powerful. Asimar, Dragonborns, just being able to fly is super nice. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else I would want rather than flying. The not the giant, it's the Goliath. The Goliath again, fire Goliath is very powerful, an extra D10. Or again, you could always just get the teleportation from Misty Step, which is also very nice. I do think Wood Elves are definitely a good conversation there. Being able to use Wood Elf to pick up Pass Without Trace so then you don't always have to have it prepared, which is very nice. And also Pass Without Trace is just a very powerful not Druid Ranger spell. So picking up Pass Without Trace is really nice. I think Rangers do get Pass Without Trace if I'm not mistaken. Or if they don't, then Wood Elves get Pass Without Trace. So again, that's a good pickup. Tieflings, I'm very iffy on tieflings. I honestly think tieflings are kind of bad. I don't really, I don't know. Their appeal isn't for me if I'm being totally honest with you all. Humans, again, to pick up stuff like alert if you take guide or, if you can't do custom backgrounds, pick up human to pick up alert or maybe tough. If you're a melee based ranger and want some extra HP, take tough. Or I guess if you do want to take magic initiate wizard to pick up shield, I think honestly you're better just taking defensive duelist because again it's a +1 to AC and whatever. But yeah, it's just my that's +1 to Dex, not +1 to AC. It's much more bonus to your AC. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm kind of fine with that. And yeah, I think now let's get into the subclasses. We're probably like 13 minutes in and diving on to subclasses. I just think when it comes to the Ranger, there's so much to discuss. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So the Beastmaster. Basically, they're the same as Tasha's. You still get to pick your primal companion at level 3, land, air, sea. I mean, you can still give up one of your attacks or use your bonus action to have them attack. Weaponized bonus actions are a lot less common here. So, also, also now you can very easily gain more attacks thanks to Nick and Vex, so that definitely does matter. The one thing is though that Hunter's Mark and using your bonus action to command your beast does kind of fight a little, which does definitely suck because you're so focused on using Hunter's Mark, and even at later levels, using Hunter's Mark on a Beastmaster Ranger is just it's just insane. So also a lot of major differences. Instead of using your proficiency bonus for like HP or armor class or anything of that nature, it's now on your wisdom modifier, which is really interesting. And I feel like with Tasha's, it was a very proficiency bonus times per day. That was one of the really big things about Tasha's. Honestly, that's like such a really good metric because everyone's proficiency bonus will be going up. No matter what, you will be constantly getting stronger and better with your companion or with this feature. And I did very much like that because it didn't require you to do anything. Like, it didn't require you to take an ASI or take a feat or take whatever. It just, as your character gets stronger, so does your amount of blade songs you can do. I really just like that. Um, you know, and yet now your level 7 exceptional training feature is much better. So basically, if we use our bonus action, so I'm pretty sure we must use our bonus action to command our companion to take any action, they can also dash, disengage, or dodge, or help with their bonus action. That's actually really damn nice, especially especially with the fact um with Charger. Well, yeah, I guess you could take Charger. Yeah, now Charger on a Ranger could be very good. I don't know if Charger gives a +1 to dexterity. I don't know. I don't have all the. I can't wait to get access to the books because I don't have all of the feats open to me. I couldn't just open up the book. Yeah, I think I'll on the comments I'll see. If you don't see anything, then don't worry. Charger doesn't give you a +1 to dexterity. But if you hear me say like, "Oh yeah, Charger works" or whatever, or something just mentioning Charger, then you know it does work. Also, we can now change our attacks to deal force damage. Our little beast's attacks, which is pretty damn nice. At level 11, our Bestial Fury feature has improved. So now our beast now basically gets. I'm sorry. Our beast now gets hunters. Basically they get extra attack, which is nice. I mean, yeah, extra attack is just so cool. And now they can also benefit from our hunter's mark if they attack the person we have marked. This is really nice. But again, this is now I think this is where we're gonna get into another Hunter's Mark conversation. I'll try to make it brief for the sake of brevity, but you know how that is. Overall, it's and you know okay, you know what? Our level 15 feature is essentially the same feature. It's so basically the same. So yeah, that's all the features for the Ranger. Skip ahead a little bit if you want to see me discuss the Fey Wanderer. That's next. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Hunter's Mark and your Beastmaster does fight a lot for the simple reason is that they both take pretty heavy amounts of bonus action economy, and also especially if you take Poisoner, then your bonus action is it's getting used around, it's getting passed around. Disgusting way to put it, but um yeah, it's very annoying. You're definitely feeling that bonus action tax. Like if this was Baldur's Gate 3, that 3 levels of Thief Rogue would hit like a truck. It would hit like a fresh, freezing cold water after you ran 3 miles. So I think definitely take that as you will. But overall, sorry, I do definitely believe. I don't know why I'm flaring up all of a sudden. Friggin', I hate this. At these seasons, sometimes my allergies just hit me so hard. I definitely do believe that the Beastmaster damage wise. Well, make sure you drink water. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's so embarrassing. Whatever. We're like 13 minutes in. Or like 15? Yeah, we're like 18 minutes in. I do definitely think the Beastmaster is the best damage wise. I think, bar none. Because I'm trying to think. Sorry, I moved away from my mic. Hopefully you guys didn't hear it. I need to clear my throat. Oh, forget. I'm sorry. This only happens when I'm doing videos. So annoying. Whatever. Different topic. But yeah, I do definitely think the Beastmaster is it's definitely the best damage wise. Which honestly I can deal with, especially if you can get like another beast here. But yeah, again, it's just Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark being icky. I think that's the best way I can put it. Hunter's Mark is icky. No one likes Hunter's Mark. Having to constantly use your bonus action to move it around when you need your bonus action to basically breathe as a Beastmaster Ranger it's icky. I think is the best way to put it. So yeah, that's it for the Beastmaster Ranger. Overall thoughts, probably your best damage wise, but holy hell, with 3 levels of Thief, Baldur's Gate 3, Thief Rogue, help you out so much. But this ain't BG3. Next is the Fey Wanderer. I feel like this is one that a lot of people like, but I I don't know. I never really messed with the Fey Wanderer. I always like if I was there playing a ranger, I was like, oh, Gloomstalker. I like let's be honest here. It's like, oh, Gloomstalker's so nice. I love Gloomstalker. Now, Gloomstalkers have been changed a tad bit, so I don't know. Gloomstalkers are interesting now. But yeah, overall, I think Fey Wanderer was definitely one of those picks. I feel like people did like it, but I never really saw anyone build it. Like, you never hear someone complaining, like, oh, Fey Wanderer sucks booty. But, like, no one ever plays it. Like, is really the impression I've always gotten of the Fey Wanderer. So now, hopefully more people play it, because now they've gotten some changes. Now, at ninth level, they learn Summon Fey instead of Dispel Magic. Makes sense. Yeah, there's nothing really there to just. I mean, get Summon Fey. I guess yeah, you're not doing Summon Beast, which I know for some characters, the summon spells for Rangers are like hit very hard thematically, and even myself, I played a Ranger where his summon beast was like his old like animal friend that died, and it was a very touching moment when he first got access to the spell because he was like it was like basically the face of something he's loved his whole life that's always been with there finally came back to him. It was a very cute moment. So yeah, I do definitely think the summon spells work really well in combat and thematically because I feel like if the way you can flavor your summon spells just allow for such beautiful role play moments. If you're playing a ranger that ever had like a pet animal, or just any character that's ever had like a pet anything, like a pet fae. I guess if you were born in the fae world or teleported there because you got hit by a truck. I know that's a. Some people won't get that. Some people will. Your dreadful strikes feature or your dreadful strikes feature is basically the same. Otherworldly ground or your seventh level feature is also the same, but the only change is that now is that it clarifies that we have advantage on saves to both avoid and end the turn defending condition. So that's good. And also at level 11, the only change to Fey reinforcements is that we don't know the spell because we learn it at ninth level thanks to our spell list. I mean, yeah, I think that's it for the Fey Wanderer. Overall, didn't get much changes, but I didn't really need much changes. I feel like people probably still will use the Fey Wanderer because I know the Archfey is just so. I love the Archfey. The Archfey is literally just Nightcrawler and Minito, and I love Nightcrawler, and I think Minito's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm winning. I definitely do think. Expect a Fey Warlock one of these days. Man, overall, I think the Fey Wanderer is just solid. It got some changes that is nice. It didn't get any nerfs. It didn't get any buffs. But at the end of the day, it was what they get a tiny buffs. But at the end of the day, it was always in a good position. So now it's kind of in a nice one. Now, all my Gloomstalker Rangers out there, I'm sorry, but ooh, it has been shanked per se. Yeah, Dreaded Ambusher has been heavily nerfed. Instead of getting an extra attack in first round of combat, you now gain 2d6 psychic damage to weapon attack. That's nice. It can be once per turn, however, but I'm pretty sure how it's worded is after I'm pretty sure you get it once for free on the first turn of combat, but after you use it, you can use it wisdom modifier times per day. Or no, it is once per turn. Wait, oh no, is it? Okay, I don't know, but it may or may. I think it's not. I think it's not once per turn. I haven't worded it because how I write my notes are all just a bunch of scrambles I put together. That's what my notes are. So I think it's once per day. I'm gonna assume it's not once per day, but when you use it outside of your first free use of it, it's only wisdom modifier times per day per long rest. So you know. Thoughts? Because I guess that is a massive change. All the other ones kind of really don't matter. I am how do I feel about that? I have been abusing is the correct term. The Gloomstalker Ranger in Baldur's Gate 3. Shout out Morgan Evelyn. She made a amazing Titan String build video, and I just completely stole that for one of my runs, and I used it very well. I didn't play honor mode because I would be in honor mode. I'm just waiting for the honor mode custom mode to come out because I'm gonna be using that like all the time because I like playing with the stronger bosses, but I want to save Scum. That's just me though. But yeah, I don't think the old version was inherently really broken. I mean, Veil Senya is a great example of why the old Gloomstalker is broken, especially with sneak attack. You know, do okay, because the 2024 Ranger needed Gloomstalker. Does this Ranger needed? Does this Ranger need the old Gloomstalker? Huh, you know what? Actually, leave that down below. What's your opinion on this? I don't really like ever ask you guys to like leave anything down below. But do you guys believe that this version of the Ranger, 2024 Ranger, needs the old Gloomstalker? Or do you think this Gloomstalker is more than enough for this new Ranger? I'm really interested to see what people like think about this. I personally believe that this is so weird. Because man, dual wielding is now just so powerful. So I mean, oh god, sharpshooter getting a nerf though. Okay, I think this version for the power level that the Ranger is right now is fine. I don't think it needs the Gloomstalker treatment. I don't think we need the old Gloomstalker. If you disagree, please make sure to leave that down below, respectfully, of course. Don't be a meanie or you're getting divine smited out. Um, but yeah, I do definitely want to hear people's opinions on this. I think this can be a really interesting like point of debate. And I think there are some nice conversations and a little bit more and get everyone's opinion. I do very much like that. Now, Umbral Sight is our next feature. It got a decent buff. If you already have Dark Vision, it increases by 60 feet. I mean, again, it's basically the same. You're still invisible to people that use Dark Vision. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Now your 11th level feature has seen Oh no no, your 7th level feature, yeah, my fault. Your 7th level feature has received no change at all, which is good. I think it just gave proficiency and wisdom saves. No, I don't have. Let's pull it up for everyone for the class. Ranger Gloomstalker. Let's see. Yeah, proficiency. Oh, and proficiency in wisdom or instant in charisma. A really good feature, and you still have it. Now your land flow feature has been nerfed a little bit. Now it basically does is it increases your dreaded strike damage to 2d8 instead of 2d6, which is just better. And when you use it, you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature within 5 feet of the original target and within range. And so it's kind of like your Hunter's Horde, Horde Breaker. The Hunter's Horde Breaker feature, I think, is the best way to put it. Because the original feature was very good. So is this a nerf? Because I put that it was a small nerf, but I think looking at it now, I don't know if it is. Because the original Stalker's Fury feature was you learn to attack with such unexpected speed that you can turn a miss into another strike. Once on each of your turns, when you miss with a weapon attack, you can make another weapon attack as a part of that same action. Yeah, no, this is a. Is it a nerf? Because this was really powerful with Gloomstalker Ranger. Yeah, because like sharpshooter, if you miss a sharpshooter shot, I think this is a nerf. I think looking at the like system we have now, this is a buff. But back in the day, the old feature allowed you to gain more damage potential, in my opinion. So I do think when you're comparing the systems, this new version may be a small buff, but I think when you're comparing the straight raw class only, I do think this is a buff. But when you consider feats, overall like system changes, I do generally think this is a nerf compared to the old feature. I do generally think they're still both very good. Don't now like yourself to be like, oh, this is so bad. Out the window I go. Um yeah, I hmm. So I mean, yeah, honestly, I think it's a good feature. Don't get me wrong, but if it's better or worse than your old one is definitely up to continue. But now your 15th level feature has gotten just a straight buff. Even if your enemy has advantage against you, you can still just you can. It's basically the same feature, but now it works if they still have advantage on you, which is overall just very really nice. So yeah, it's basically the same feature from what I can tell. So yeah, that's the Gloomstalker. Very very interesting. What are my thoughts on it? Okay, let's. I mean, we're 30 minutes in. This is a long one. I'm sorry, rambled a lot at the beginning. This is okay. This is a very interesting. The Gloomstalker is a very interesting subclass. I won't lie to you. It's. I think in today's world, where it's. I think in today's D&D, where the amount of attacks you're doing don't matter as much unless your build is made. Oh, but wait, you're a ranger. You want to be using Hunter's Mark. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. This is icky. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, because you're a ranger. You want to be using Hunter's Mark thanks to the new dumb rules. Okay, actually then, I really recontextualized the whole subclass as a thing. I recontextualized. Okay, then yeah, I think with the new context of, well, at least you wanna be using Hunter's Mark and abusing it. I really do think, yeah, yeah, the Gloomstalker now is just a massive nerf when you recontextualize it in today's landscape. It really is like just a massive, well, like not, well, it's so weird. It really depends on like want to see it, and I can just go on for so long about how it is. But overall, final opinion, I do think it isn't a nerf, it isn't a buff. It's a new subclass for a new environment. I think is the best way to put it, and the way I am personally gonna put it. So yeah, now the hunters. I feel like the hunter was really yeah, I feel like the hunter was always that subclass that like originally people would pick it over the beastmaster because the beastmaster was kakapupu, to put it nicely. But now the beastmaster is so much better, and you do have Gloomstalker and Fey Wonder, so yeah. Now, a very cool feature is that when you mark the creature of Hunter's Mark, so another subclass that wants to be using Hunter's Mark, you, for no action economy at all, you can now learn the immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities of your Hunter's Mark prey. That's really nice. I do think that the I do think the strongest one is probably learning the resistances, because honestly, the immunities, and well, I think it honestly depends. Because like if you're fighting a fire giant, you know it's immune to fire. But like, or if you're fighting a demon, you know it's immune to fire, but you don't know if it's immune to like cold, lightning, or something else. So I do think that resistances is probably gonna be your best bet. But honestly, who really knows? So the flavor of this is beyond sick. I love the flavor. So But yeah, Giant Killer for one of your Hunter's Prey feature is now gone. So rest in peace. No one ever took it, but I mean, hey, maybe if your DM love giants, love big creatures, then But yeah, rest in peace. Horde Breaker and Colossal Slayer are basically unchanged, but now you can now switch out what option you have per short rest, which is throw myself out the window, good. I just love the fact that Wizards of the Coast is like, okay, you know what? We need to stop limiting players with their subclass features, and I love that they've been doing that. That's just so nice. I love it. Now your 7th level feature is you did not lose the steel wheel option, which is that's fine. And hold on, I'm losing myself. Okay, the other two are still basically the same, and like the other one, you can still swap between short rest. So it seems that the changes with the 7th and 3rd level feature are basically now that you can swap them between a short rest, which honestly I just love it. Now your multi-attack defense has changed a little bit. That says if a creature hits you with an attack roll, they have disadvantage on all their attacks against you this turn instead of a +4 to your armor class, which I don't know. I think on average advantage and disadvantage is a -5 to your roll. So I think mechanically this is stronger. But I think if you're one of those players that I think if you're one of those players that likes making characters like 5 trillion, with like 5 trillion armor class. I do think, that is pretty damn cool. But now, I am so sorry to say, but your level 11 feature, multi attack, has been taken out the gutter, old Yeller style. Oh, I hate that. I'm sorry. I. Oh, yeah. I think it's time to go through the window again. uh, Joking, of course, for YouTube. Going through the window in Minecraft, of course, But yeah, that really sucks, losing that feature. I mean, we do now get Superior Hunter's Prey, which basically says when we deal damage to an enemy marked by Hunter's Mark, we can also deal our Hunter's Mark damage to a different creature within 30 feet of them. Again, I think through the window we go. I'm joking, of course. But yeah, our 15 feature, Superior Hunter's Defense, has also changed quite a bit apparently, and also it's now been simplified a little, which is nice. Instead of getting 3 choices, we're now told when we take damage, we can use a reaction to gain resistance to that damage and any other damage of the same type until the end of our current turn. Which yeah, I think is really damn nice. Um, the other features, you know what? For the sake of being some pretty nice people. Let's let's uh let's check the ranger here. Let's check how the ranger is doing. What is the hunter? That's what we're covering. I'm sorry. Hunters. So okay. Evasion, when you're subjected to okay, that's just an hour. Something against a type, unless a creature misses an attack, use a reaction to force that creature to repeat the same attack against another creature. Okay, that's nice. Okay, Okay, so now, do I like this? I mean, honestly, I would have just preferred if we can get this, but on a short rest we can switch it out. But I know you can, you can't always get everything you want, which just sucks. And yeah, I think, honestly, yeah, I think I'll take, like the just resistance to a damage for the rest of combat. Honestly, yeah, I think I'll take that. I think it's an interesting choice. Probably not mine. Probably not the one I would make. What would I do to change this feature? I'll say, yeah, I think what they did is probably for the best. But yeah, that's the Ranger. I don't know how to feel about it. I am very. I think it's the fact is I'm not excited to build or play a Ranger, which really means it's like I don't know what I'm going to do a Ranger video, man. I don't. I'm gonna do one eventually. Don't worry, you are gonna get a Ranger video, my Ranger lovers out there. But I do definitely think I'm more excited to build an assassin. I'm more excited to build a sword knife. I'm more excited to build a monk. I'm more excited to build a barbarian. I'm excited to build a warlock paladin. See how that can end up. See if I'm just like sort of cope, call me Trunks, or if I'm like genuinely like being real. Yeah, honestly, the Ranger is again one of those classes I feel like no one's excited to play. So it has really changed much. I am so sorry, my Ranger lovers out there. But yeah, Wizards of the Coast has not done your boy good. And yeah, overall, I think the Ranger is in a position, and I really don't know if it's in a better or worse one. I think focusing so heavy on Hunter's Mark is such a bad decision, especially since it's a concentration spell. And yeah, I think that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, OT19 signing out. A peace.